Southwest Dispatch.
There's a car that's smashed up against the building, and the car's trashed.
This car's split in two.
It truly was a horrific crash site.
You know, there's an occupant inside. We gotta bust the window out now. Oh my God. Oh my God. ×3, guys. Radio, 3 occupants.
Even though nobody really wanted this to be a terrible, horrible, purposeful homicide, it was. That's exactly what it was.
Okay.
Right leg.
This is the worst I've ever seen.
Who drives into a building at 100 miles an hour on purpose?
Yeah, who drives at 100 miles per hour into a building, but you yourself, your boyfriend, or your girlfriend, and his or her best friend? This is the case of Mackenzie Schirilla. Hell on wheels is what they're calling it. Let's continue.
Strongsville is a suburb 15 miles outside of Cleveland. Nice little quiet suburb, a family community, a great place to live.
And it was that time of year, you know, where the kids would go, you know, everybody's having graduation parties. We knew Davion was out with some friends.
Dominic, Mackenzie.
They were just hanging out.
They all were planning on staying the night. They woke up close to 5 o'clock in the morning. Mackenzie was driving. Davion Flanagan was in the back seat, and Dominic Russo was in the passenger seat. She uses her blinker. She slows before the turn.
58, 59 seconds later, this car, like a missile,
Damn.
this happened on a Sunday morning early, and it was 45 minutes before a passerby noticed the crash.
Southwest Dispatch.
There's a car that's smashed up against the building. He smashed the sign and hit the building. The car's trashed.
It truly was a horrific crash site.
This car's split in two. Radio, there's an occupant inside. Send us a squad now.
Nothing prepares you for what you see on that body cam.
We gotta bust the window out. Send us some more units.
Any more units to progress now, Amita?
Now!
Courtroom going.
31, spawn up.
This is not a fresh accident either. She's been here for a while.
How long it was sitting there? What time was it? Because this happened at like 5 o'clock in the morning. That's crazy work. Crazy work. So nobody knew? Damn.
Radio, we got at least 2 occupants in here. No one's moving. Oh my God. Oh my God. ×3, guys. Radio, 3 occupants. No one's conscious. No one's breathing. Bust that window out.
Both Dominic and Davion are lifeless.
Who can hear my voice? Driver's radio. The driver is breathing, unconscious.
Look at that car. I'm surprised Mackenzie even was still in the car. Like, that's crazy work.
Just radio, they're gonna need full extraction on all three. Oh, man.
Not good, not good. Let me see your knife. Let's cut this thing out.
This is bad, guys. She's alive. We got to get her out somehow. To try to get her out. Oh, dude, I don't know if we can.
There.
Mackenzie is inside of the vehicle. She's trapped underneath the dashboard.
Driver, 17-year-old female, still breathing, wedged in there.
She had to be extracted by jaws of life.
Okay.
Right leg. All right, I'm gonna get.
She had a broken leg, several broken ribs. She was life flighted.
I'll cut you loose. What? Cool, that's fine by me.
I truly still do not know how Mackenzie survived that crash.
I know. Jesus Christ. This is the worst I've ever seen.
They found Dominic and Davion not wearing seatbelts. They were sort of stacked on top of one another, laying from the front passenger seat through to the rear driver's side seat.
Davion and Dominic were killed instantly.
Rest in peace, buddy. This is gonna be just a nightmare of a day for this whole department.
They called me on the phone right around lunchtime, and the police detective asked.
So he was adopted, if you was wondering. Davion was adopted.
You know, if I was the father of Davion Flanagan, and said there'd been a horrible crash, and that our son didn't make it. And that was just a gut punch.
He was the oldest of a sibling group of 3 that we adopted from foster care. He was also the starting running back for Strongsville High. We got the phone call, and that completely just changed our lives, demolished so many dreams.
We can't say, I mean, the judge already, judged her with it for unaliving them, driving 100 miles an hour, crashing into that wall. Nobody can't say what was going on her head. She said she had some polyp, whatever disease where she black out or whatever. We don't know, bro.
They went to see Mackenzie Schirilla in the hospital. They were taken aback by she and her parents' hesitancy to speak with them.
It's from her. Yeah. So whether or not she chooses to cooperate on advice of counsel, that's up to her.
The detective, he did record maybe a few minutes, just audio of her interacting with the detective and her mother.
The crime we're investigating is an aggravated vehicular homicide ×2. I do want you to know that a lot of people are coming to us and reporting things. And
I'm confused at why she would not want to talk to, I get it, mental anguish or whatever you want to call it, but she should have been ready to talk to their families. Like, I get it, but you're still here though.
So usually,
yes, I was told that.
Usually, the most accurate information we're gonna get is from her. If there's
can I say something to her?
Yes.
She speaks to her mother in a unique language.
Yes.
It's a gibberish or a distortion of the English language. It's kind of like Pig Latin. Can we tell the police I had a seizure? Can we tell the police something like that? One of the first things that the girl said to the detective was instantly, "Can't you just take my driver's license away for 10 years?
Yeah, like,
Can I just like take my license away for like 10 years or something like that? Like, I don't even...
She's feeling some kind of guilt here. So that instantly starts making us think that this is not an accident.
Mackenzie's social media offered a possible clue.
I'm not even cool. I'm just one of those girls that can do a lot of drugs and not die.
This was a person who regularly smoked marijuana and drove her car under the influence of marijuana. They did find in her clothing, I think it was around 7 grams of psilocybin mushrooms that tested positive for a controlled substance.
But the toxicology reports for Mackenzie indicated the levels for the mushrooms and the marijuana were not a likely factor.
The detective immediately filed a search warrant for her medical records and discovered that she had not reported any sort of blacking out, any sort of neurological failure. You realize there's no medical reason for this, that wasn't the cause.
So she was good, basically.
The next thing.
So she was okay. She was sober, basically, is what I'm getting, right? That's what they're saying, right? She was sober, so there's the paraphernalia that she normally would use on a daily basis had nothing to do with what happened at 5 o'clock that morning, crashing into that wall with her boyfriend and his best friend. Diabolical. Let's continue.
The thing they looked at was, did the Toyota Camry suffer some sort of...
Oof. Lord. Golly. Look at that car, bro.
mechanical failure that...
Look at the... How did she survive that? What the she got to be a robot.
That led to this crash. So we had what's called a...
Bro, look at this car, bro. Look at this car. How? It looked like it was junked. It don't... I don't know.
A forensic mechanic go out and inspect that car, and he took apart the steering components. He looked at the suspension, the braking systems, the accelerator, and he determined that the Toyota Camry did not contribute to the crash through any sort of mechanical failure.
The first break in the case came from a grief-stricken friend of Davion, Tyler Croy.
I was just kind of shocked, really. I didn't really know how to process it all. And just knowing Davion, I just felt like there was more to the story than just an accidental crash.
Using an app called Life 360, Tyler and Davion and a few other friends were regularly tracking each other's phones.
Wherever Davion or anyone else in that circle went, it would just ping their exact location. So I basically just went back and looked at like the previous night. It showed that the car hit a top speed of like 90 miles per hour and there was no effort to like hit the brakes. We just decided to show that to the cops because we felt like that could help them like investigate it a little better.
This was kind of the first.
How? What kind of technological advances are we in where you can see how fast the car is going at the moment, if it's hitting the brakes or not? That's crazy. So she didn't even try to stop. She just drove it over 90 miles an hour into the wall? Damn.
First time that the police department had really got a grasp on how fast Mackenzie was driving. It really triggered them that something was not right here, something was off.
If it wasn't a mechanical failure, if it wasn't driving under the influence, what was it?
was 5:39 a.m.
All three of these kids grew up in Strongsville. They lived there. Their families lived there.
Welcome to the class of 2022 commencement ceremony.
And the crash came just a few weeks after two of them had graduated from the local high school.
Davion Markel Flanagan.
We were really looking forward to him, finding his path, becoming a man.
Mackenzie Schirilla.
Classmates knew her as a kind of wild child.
Spotlight, hot nights, glow red in the stoplight, ice light, big swerve, big wheel, rich taste, I serve.
Mackenzie had no boundaries for herself, and her parents had no boundaries for her either.
Figure like a pin, I've got a figure like a doll. Don't care if you think I'm dumb, I don't care.
She felt like she was going to be the next big thing. Nobody loved Mackenzie better than herself.
Sweetie pie, wanna be adored. I'm the girl you die for.
360, big 360.
The third person in the car, Dominic Russo, was a few years older and the boyfriend of Mackenzie.
Mackenzie was 17 and Dominic was close to 20, and they had been dating for several years at that point. They were living together, and Mackenzie was living there full time.
He was interested.
Wait. Several is usually more than two. So she was 17. She was 14. He was 17. 13. Come on.
Interested in music.
It's giving me a little D4VD-ish.
He was investigating a possibility of joining the military.
He really lived for Mackenzie. He did everything for her. When Mackenzie said jump, Dominic said how high.
And it started to fit with the picture of who Mackenzie Schirilla really was, which was an out-of-control high schooler, 17-year-old child, who was permitted to live with a 20-year-old man in his house.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. She was a child. 17? Come on, bro. 17, he 20. About to be 21, whatever the case may be. I'm sure he drinking, he smoking, he doing things illegally inappropriate for her age group. Because he know people who's older than him who can get booze or whatever, for the fun or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
While she was doing poorly in high school.
Spotlight, hot nights.
Her parents were following her on social media when she was posting these videos of herself wearing pretty much nothing, doing drugs, drinking, at college parties at 17. Her mom was liking these posts.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody said nothing. Nobody tried to prevent this child from spiraling out of control and then going to try to step up to the plate once she's being charged with a murder. Come on now.
Mom supported it.
And in fact, it continued while Mackenzie was still in the hospital.
They were Instagramming back and forth with some modeling company. She's in the hospital. It's having her mom reach out on her behalf, letting everyone know that this was just a tragic accident that she was in, more or less hoping to gain people's attention, using this as almost like propaganda for her modeling career.
The investigation had begun as a standard fatal traffic accident case, assigned to a rookie detective.
He was doing everything he possibly could to try and turn over every stone to show that this was an accident. He didn't want this to be a double homicide.
But interviews with people who knew Mackenzie, including former boyfriend Tyler Proctor, only added to the evidence that this was no accident.
She mentally just not all there?
Yeah, I don't think she's just mentally all there. I personally feel like she was trying to kill herself in that crash, and she failed on doing so, is what I feel like. And I feel like she had no regard for Davion, and I feel like they got in an argument, her and Dom, and she threatened to kill him.
So detectives wanted to know what was going on.
So she didn't care for Davion. Her and Dominic got into an argument. She said this. Everybody going, and she took the wheel how she wanted to take the wheel, and then she survived. That's the kicker. Them two didn't go. She survived. They gone.
on at the home where Mackenzie and Dominic Russo were living together in a contentious relationship.
You lied. You lied and said you would never lock me out of the house again. That is why we got back together last time we broke up.
Dominic recorded many of the angry fights.
Mackenzie, you broke up with me earlier. Because you were a little weak.
You broke up with me earlier. You literally broke up with me earlier.
This is your last chance to open the door, or you are not coming out of this house all night, because I will not leave.
Like, why would I just let you in the house if you break up with me and you're threatening to break my
No.
Like, you're threatening to key my car, threatening to break
I will
the doors.
key your car
like,
if you do not let me in the house.
You're gonna key my car if I don't let
If you don't let me in the house, yes.
They had broken up numerous times. They would break up and then get back together. And I think that Dominic wanted to kind of move on from that. He was sick of the way Mackenzie was treating him.
You're gonna come open this door right now, or there's gonna be a serious problem.
I can't. No, like you can't keep that. You can't keep making all these threats. Like, I can't
And you
open the
can't
door.
kick. I'm gonna break into your house then.
Dude, what? No, what the actual? Okay.
Now open the door.
In
Dom,
my
I will
house.
break. I will break. Do I have to like call the police?
Why? Why would you call the
Do I have
police?
to call the police? Are you not gonna let me into my house?
This is not your house.
The calls themselves were so important because they showed us that dynamic. Dominic had said, I'm done. I'm gonna end it with Mackenzie, and this time it's gonna be for real. I want to move on. Dominic felt the pressure that Mackenzie was putting on him. He felt that threatening nature, and I truly believe that he felt at that time that she was going to harm him at some point.
What?
2 weeks before the crash, there was another blow-up as the couple drove along a Cleveland highway.
Dominic called his mother and said, Mackenzie is driving reckless. We are on the highway. She is, threatening me, and I need help. I need to get out of this car.
A friend went to pick up Dominic.
And he heard Mackenzie say, Dominic, I will crash this car. I swear I will crash this car.
Davion was a shooting star, streaking across the night sky for too short a period of time.
You are so loved, and we are eternally grateful to have been chosen to be your parents.
The vigil, they lit those candles and they stayed there past midnight, and they just spent the night. They refused to leave the crash site, mourning the loss of 2 innocent lives.
As friends and family mourned the deaths of Davion Flanagan and Dominic Russo, the parents were getting more unsettling news.
The detectives were the ones that kind of started hinting at it. They're saying they believe our son may have been murdered.
It's almost unfathomable, because who drives into a building at 100 miles an hour on purpose?
Mackenzie, apparently.
It's one thing to lose him, but for it to have been an intentional act, that was really a whole new level to the grieving, a whole new level to the trauma. Maybe 6 weeks after the crash, we received some flowers from the Schirilla family. I did receive a text message. I would never do this. This was a terrible accident.
Athens, make some noise!
And Mackenzie's social media posts added to the pain.
Mackenzie went with her best friend to Ohio University's Halloween and just really blasted herself all over social media. She had dressed up as a zombie, where she was wearing next to nothing, showing zero remorse for anything that had just happened. In no way, shape, or form did she look like she was sad or injured, or really had any care for any consequences of what lied ahead.
This wasn't a girl who was sitting at home weeping like her mother said. She was out partying with her friends, and in the most classless way possible.
No respect.
In a text exchange, Mackenzie told Dominic's mother it was just an accident.
It's difficult for me to conceive or consider that she could have done this and not been intending to take her own life as well.
Whether Mackenzie was homicidal or suicidal, to us didn't matter. Mackenzie had a death mission that day, and
She was definitely, at the very least, suicidal. Like what she said, she wished it probably was her that was not here for no more, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you still here, you know what I'm saying? So you was meant to face these consequences because you most definitely could have been not here. The way that car looked, you should not be here. For real, you shouldn't.
I don't think Mackenzie cared who was going to die in that car.
And prosecutors had the car's event data recorder, the so-called black box, to prove it.
The black box in this car recorded the last 5 seconds leading up to impact. It took that car 20 to 25 seconds to get up to that speed.
She had 100% acceleration and 100% force applied to the pedal, and she not one time had ever applied the brake. She had time to formulate the decision. She had time to stop herself if she wanted to, and she did not.
Dominic and Davion, they didn't have their seatbelts on. To me, I always thought that meant that it was very likely they saw what was happening. It's likely they were trying to do something to avert their fate, but that it was just too late.
The totality of this evidence just really, really hammered in the fact that this, even though nobody really wanted this to be a terrible, horrible, purposeful double homicide, it was. That's exactly what it was.
This case is, my mind, I can't really fathom how somebody can do something like that. And then just watching it, understanding what happened, piece by piece, seeing what happened. If I'm going to go with what I see, based off of the evidence, this was done on purpose. Right? Based off of the evidence that we have, we are going off of the criminal justice system. The evidence that we have, she did it on purpose. That how it looks, what it seems like, it was done on purpose. That's what I'm seeing.
3 months later, Mackenzie Schirilla was placed under arrest.
Hi, Mackenzie. Step out for me. I'm Detective Jesus. I'm the one who's been investigating the crash. You're under arrest for aggravated murder ×2, okay? Nobody's gonna ask you any questions?
She weaponized that car. She used that car as a weapon to take Dominic's life. I don't think she ever even considered Davion for a second.
Case number 679612, known for juvenile detention.
Because she was 17 when the crash happened, Mackenzie was charged as a juvenile.
She would have been facing a prison sentence up to her 21st birthday. That's the maximum she would have been looking at.
It appeared she just thought this was not going to be a big deal, that she was just going to go on living her life.
We had a 3-day hearing at juvenile court where we have to convince the juvenile judge that we've got good evidence to proceed and allow her to be tried as an adult for murder.
Once the case was moved out of juvenile court, Mackenzie's parents were able to hire a well-known Ohio defense lawyer, who then tried to negotiate a plea deal.
Mackenzie Schirilla had offered essentially what would have amounted to juvenile probation as a penalty that she was willing to take on. We allow the victims' families to have a lot of input on this, and nobody was interested in that. They felt like she had murdered their sons and loved ones, and they did not want her to walk off with a slap on the wrist.
Mackenzie Schirilla would be prosecuted as an adult, facing a possible sentence of life in prison.
Be back.
Well, the trial for a Strongsville teen charged with murder in a deadly crash is going on today, day one.
The parents of the young men who were killed attended court every day.
We felt that our son didn't have a voice anymore and that he needed us to fight for that justice, to fight for truth.
We thought it was interesting that she showed up wearing some sort of cast or brace on her arm.
Hold on, wasn't she just at a Halloween party and she was just looking normal and shit? This have to be after that. You know what I'm saying? This is definitely after the party. She didn't have that on at the party, bro. She thinks she's slick, bro. She thinks she's slick.
We didn't find any medical reason for that.
Mackenzie chose to forego a trial by jury, choosing a bench trial. The judge would decide her fate.
Thank you, Your Honor. Please report. Mr. McDonald. On July 31st, a Sunday morning, 6:15 in the morning, Strongsville police and emergency personnel received a 911 call that there was a single car high-impact collision.
Prosecutor Tim Troop went immediately to the accident scene photos and the surveillance video of the actual crash.
To see that video, that was the first time that we saw the actual crash video that showed the horrifying last few moments of my son's and Dominic's life. There was, no other explanation, no other logical explanation than this was done on purpose. And it just was shocking, absolutely shocking.
This data shows strikingly 100% acceleration through the entire final 5 seconds. It also shows no service brake was deployed during that final 5 seconds.
And as soon as the prosecutor began the opening arguments narrating the details of the deadly crash, she broke down into tears.
You will hear a little bit about the relationship between the defendant and Dominic. We will play the videos that Dominic Russo recorded in the weeks leading up to this fatal crash. This is the defendant's version of what happened on July 31st. I don't remember the accident. All I remember is turning on the street and then my vision fading into black. Your Honor, this is our case. This is the type of evidence that at the conclusion of putting on for you, we will ask you, Your Honor, and anticipate findings of guilt on all counts in our indictment. Thank you.
Your Honor, may it please the court. When I first got this case and saw that the charge was murder, I thought to myself, boy, if this is murder, they have to prove that Mackenzie purposely did something. So,
based off of the evidence of her driving constantly without pushing on the brakes at all, with Davion and Dominic not in their seatbelts, one in the front, one in the back, they both ended up on top of each other. She the only one with a seatbelt on. It sounds like it was premeditated. I ain't gonna hold you.
if she's driving the car and it was her purpose to kill these people, she must have wanted to kill herself too. If need be, if that's the prosecutor's theory, we will put on numerous witnesses who will say that she was not suicidal. If they only have 5 seconds of recordings, how can you come to any conclusion other than, if anything, she's reckless? And for those reasons, I think that is will conclude my opening statement. Thank you.
Beyond reckless, dog.
Did you at any point provide the Strongsville Police Department with some videos that you had obtained that had conversations between Mackenzie and Dominic?
Yes.
Prosecutors used Dominic Russo's mother, Christine, to introduce the videos Dominic recorded of his fights with Mackenzie.
You are a little weak. This is your last chance to open the door. Do not open. Like, you think I'm joking. You think I'm joking. Like, I'm dead.
What does the next 10 minutes and 28 seconds contain?
It's just, it's the same thing of Mackenzie and threatening Dom.
She threatened his property?
Mm-hmm.
She threatened to break into his house?
Correct.
I will key your car if you do not let me in the house.
Kenzie, you're threatening to break. You're like, oh, I'm gonna break the glass. Like, you're threatening crazy.
Okay, I'm gonna break into your house, right?
Did Dominic threaten the defendant?
No.
How would you describe Dominic's tone on these videos?
Very calm.
How would you describe the defendant's tone on these videos?
Irate and angry.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
There was no cross-examination.
I'm stopping it there. What? Let's keep a look on her. What you say? What you think? You let me know. Y'all, let me know what you think about this case in the comments below. If y'all want to see more videos like this, hit the like, comment, and subscribe. This is a video I am reviewing by LMN. This is their episode, season 4, episode 12. Okay, if y'all want to watch the rest of this, Mackenzie Schirilla's Deadly Crash. But watch my video first. Yeah, holla at your boy. Peace.